Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Tagavi, PhD of Psychology, and your instructor for the next 8 weeks in the course of Organizational Development and Change 6011 ORG 6011. I'm so happy to be here with you for the next 8 weeks, and we will talk about a lot of great things in your real life, in your business life, in your organizational life, even your personal life, because we are talking about change. Honestly, this course is about using behavioral sciences in improving and in achieving the effectiveness, the higher effectiveness of your organization, of your business. And sometimes maybe if you use the concept learned in this course very correct in your real life, in your personal life, also you can use them as a very good guideline for other areas of your life, for education, for occupation, for interpersonal relationships and other parts. In this course, we will talk, let me share it with you. In this course, we will talk about these topics: understanding and diagnosing change, and how can we create change? How can we have a good diagnosis about is it necessary to create change? And after that, how to creating? What is the process of change? What is the main material? What is the substance of change? And after creating change, we should sustain it, we should maintain it. And so 3 parts of diagnosis: the necessity of change, and creating change, and maintaining the change for the future goals. In the part of diagnosis, the change, understanding the change, at first we will talk about the change management. What are the paradoxes and what are the stories about the change management? And after that, we will talk about images of change management. Well, what images we have about change management. After that, why change, contemporary pressures and drivers. It is very modern time. It is absolutely, we cannot avoid absolutely from change. Especially in this time, for example, in COVID-19, everything is changing in other directions relative to the previous directions. It is the opposite direction of the previous directions. So we cannot avoid change. And what to change the diagnostic approach when we are talking about the diagnosis, something, everything. For example, diagnosis approach to change, we should have some good criteria to have a diagnosis that it is the time of change, or it is not, it is good, or it is not good, it is effective, or it is not effective. In the second part, we talk about the process of change, and we talk about the material and substance of change, what changes and what does not, and vision and the direction of change. What is your perspective as a future leader of business, and the future leader of organization, and the future manager of everything you want to do in your life? What is the perspective of the change you want to create in your life, in your organization, in your business, and in your other parts and other areas of your life? And after that, we talked about change communication strategies. In human being real life, everything has a communication strategy, everything. Why? Because your social life is about your interpersonal communication, and your inner world it is about intrapersonal communication. So everything for a human being, for a human, as a manager, as a leader, as a father, as a spouse, and other roles that you should have in your life. And sometimes there are a lot of conflicts between these roles, and you will be confused about your roles. It is role conflict or role confusion. Sometimes we have a paradoxical condition about our roles in our society, in our real life. And because of that, you should know the communication strategies for change. And more important than everything is that human beings are change resistant. They don't want to go out of their comfort zone. Change is about going out of comfort zone. And sense-making approaches to organizational development and change management, processual and contingency approach. What is the process of change? How can we create change? How can we prepare ourselves and other people or as a total concept or organization for entering the change you want to do. The final part of the course is about how to sustain and how to maintain sustainability and maintainability and reliability sometimes of effective change manager, and changing is should be your way for whole your life. So sustaining change versus initiative decay and the effective change management, what does it take? But after this brief introduction to the topics, we will talk about the change in discourse for the next 8 weeks. You can see my Moodle room, your course show. We have four major parts here: syllabus, late work policy. Please read and study late work policy very, very, very carefully. It is very important for me to do the late work policy, and plagiarism information and educational philosophies. Two parts you should study about them because it is very huge and very in details. Late work policy and educational philosophy. It is very important for me. But as you see here, let's talk about at first syllabus and after that about the policies. You can see here your syllabus, and your textbook is Managing Organizational Change, a Multiple Perspective Approach, third edition, 2016. It's one of the greatest and most famous books about the change management all around the world, especially in the field of management and leadership and business. And after that, it is here. We have some parts for your semester final grade. We have different parts. They're major parts for each week. It is weekly learning engagement and weekly quiz. In master degree, there is no midterm quiz. You have only final quiz, final exam at the semester at the week 8, your last week. So you have 7 weekly quizzes. All of them are multiple choices, 5 questions. Total score for each quiz is 20. So the share of each of the questions is 4 points. And the learning engagement is the most important and time-consuming assignment during 1 week. Also for me, it is engagement together. You should have at least 3 posts. 1 post is your first post to the topic and your view and your research and your data collection about the topic we have offered for each week as the learning engagement topic. And 2 posts are replies to other students' primary posts. 1 timetable, it is important here. You can see in here. The due date of the learning engagement for the first post is Wednesday night. Because of that, I highly recommended you to study the late work policy. Wednesday night. After Wednesday night, for your first post, for your first idea about the main topic of learning engagement. After that, there are some very rigid and strong late work policies for your post and also for your replies. The dead end of your reply for the major week, for the basic first week of every session is Sunday night, 11:55 or 59. It's not important. Sunday night, Sunday midnight. And after that, for the second post, for your replies, it is for the second week. For each day delay, for each day late work, you will lose 10% of the major score, major grade for your learning engagement. So it is highly recommended that at first send your primary post, primary idea, primary answer to the major topic of the learning engagement before Wednesday night. And for answering, for responding, for replying to your peer group, to your other students, major posts, you have the good time until the Sunday night. After that, it should be a lot of late work policies. The other things, so you see here, it is learning engagement. It has 14 points, 300 to 400 words. Each week you have learning engagement total, and responses 16, each of them 8 points, and 2 it is 16 points. And also quizzes, you have 7 quizzes in 7 weeks, except of 8 week that you don't have any weekly quiz and you have only final quiz. Yes, it's about learning engagement. It's the time of sending the engagement. At the week 5th, you should have a case study. Also, the late work policy is used for a case study. To be so cautious about it because it is very serious for me, also for CalMU leadership team. See here, for learning engagement, for case study, for final paper, final project, it is not acceptable any type of plagiarism, any type. You can see my caution at the first part of the Moodle room. And after that, for sending your learning engagement, for sending your case study, for sending your final paper, you should use APA Publication Style 7th edition. Why? American Psychological Association as the most creditable publication style in the fields of human sciences, also included management, business, psychology, sociology, other parts of human sciences. they should use APA style. And because you are a master degree student, it is mandatory, very, very mandatory. It is very important. It is a must for you to use the APA publication style. It is very easy. You can go to internet and use it, for example, 1 hour or 2 hours. It is very important in referencing and citation, and also about the sign and how to write your text, your post, your responses, your case study, your final paper in the style of APA publication style. And the next thing is that you have a final project. Final project has 4 stages. At first, title, justification in the 3rd week. And after that, final draft paper in 6th week. And during 6-7 and 6-8, you should send the final paper or project and have a 5-minute recording as a presentation of your final paper. These are the elements of your final grade. And your final grade is 1000, you can see here. The last thing I should talk to you about it is Grammarly. Grammarly is one of the good, one of the best applications in 2 free and premium version. CalMU leadership team has provided to the students the premium version. You can see, for example, here my premium version. And you should use Grammarly to improve your writing skills. And for grading your post, for grading for reply, for grading your case study and final paper, final project, one of the greatest, one of the main things that I use it and I check it, I check your text, your post, your response with the Grammarly. For the students that don't know how to work with Grammarly, it is the application. You click the application, open it. Here, for example, this is the text I have cut and paste here from internet. At first, for every text you want to check, you should set the goals. You should set the goals. Here again, here you see the goals. Because you are an academic student, you should have these type of setting. Audience is expert, not knowledgeable, not general. Formality is formal. Your text should be formal. Your domain of your text is academic. Your tone of your text should be confident and analytical, not joyful, not optimistic, not respectful, not neutral. It is confident and analytical. And finally, your intent should be convinced. And after that, done. It is very important. The next thing we can use and we can check in the Grammarly is plagiarism. Here is plagiarism. Say, I will check it. For example, here plagiarism. It is a text from internet. You see that 100% plagiarism or 94% plagiarism. Also at the end of the text, I have written the source. You see the same source is shown here. Here, you can see the source. Then what is the source of plagiarism? So if you want to check your plagiarism of your text, you can check it with Grammarly. Here we have 4 categories in Grammarly used for improve your writing skills. It is correctness, clarity, engagement, and delivery. You see in this very formal text from internet about the change management, we have 12 alerts, 3 alerts about correctness, and other parts. For example, here you see, and it seems that you are missing a comma. Consider adding a comma. Done. Or here, as well, for example. As well is about clarity. The red is about correctness, blue about clarity, green about engagement, and purple about delivery. You can see in the text different points. So please use Grammarly for your text, and it is very simple, very, very simple. The major part is setting. It is setting. Primarily when you open your Grammarly, it is like this: knowledgeable, neutral, general, and there is no setting for tone, and sometimes it is, for example, inform or neutral. At first, when you open the Grammarly, it is something like this. You should reset to expert, formal, academic, confident, analytical, and finally, convince. It is the setting of Grammarly you should use to improve your writing skills, and the grades we have for Grammarly is about these settings. So there's nothing to say about your course. I hope to see you, all of you, hybrid students and also online students, in the class. And our class is Mondays, 5:30 to 8 p.m. And that's it. See you in the class, and thanks for the time to see this video. Bye-bye.